Hey, let me ask you something right off the bat. Could the dream signing finally be on its way to join CeeDee Lamb in Dallas? Yeah, I'm talking about a real impact move that could change everything for our offense. As of now, the Cowboys haven't locked in a true number 2 receiver. And let's be honest, we can't head into another season with all that pressure falling squarely on Lamb's shoulders, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. According to none other than Adam Schefter from ESPN, the Cowboys are making a push to sign Cooper Kupp. Yeah, that Cooper Kupp. The guy who was the MVP of Super Bowl LVI and a major force in the Rams' offense when healthy. Just hearing that name in the same sentence as the Cowboys gives you a little bit of hope, doesn't it? Now, let's take a quick look at who Cooper Kupp really is. When he's at his best, he's a route-running technician, an elite possession receiver, and a red zone threat all in one. But there's a catch. He's also coming off a stretch of injuries and a noticeable dip in production. So yeah, this isn't the same Kupp from 2021. That's something we've got to keep in mind. But here's the flip side. He doesn't need to be the WR1 anymore. With CeeDee already commanding top coverage, Kupp could thrive in a slightly reduced role, using his experience and precision to attack defenses in key moments. Imagine how much easier life would be for Dak Prescott with both Lamb and Kupp on the field. That alone might make this a risk worth taking. So, let me hear it from you now. Would you want Cooper Kupp wearing a Cowboys jersey this season? Drop your answer in the comments. And hey, if you're loving this type of Cowboys update and want to stay ahead of the rumors, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, there's a lot more coming. Now, speaking of options, what if Kupp isn't the one who ends up here? What if the Cowboys have another surprise in store? But hey, what if the Kupp deal doesn't go through? What if the Cowboys need a plan B? And what if that plan B turns out to be even bigger than expected? That's exactly where things take an unexpected twist. According to journalist Nick Brinkerhoff, another name is starting to gain traction behind the scenes. Stefon Diggs. Yeah, you heard that right. The idea of Diggs coming to Dallas is not just speculation anymore. It's starting to sound a lot more realistic than anyone thought. Now we know Diggs just finished a tough season with the Texans. A knee injury slowed him down, and that cast some doubt over his value moving forward. But let's not forget who we're talking about here. A 4-time Pro Bowler, one of the most explosive route runners in the league, and a guy who, when healthy, can take over a game on any given Sunday. And here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine Diggs playing in Dallas, not just for the Cowboys, but with his brother, Stefon Diggs. That kind of emotional and family connection could be the secret ingredient to bring the best out of both players. Think about the chemistry, the motivation, and the storyline. It practically writes itself. Sure, there are questions. Is he fully recovered? Can he get back to being that dominant force we saw in Buffalo? But at the same time, doesn't it feel like the kind of bold move this team has been missing? Let me throw it to you now. Do you think Stefon Diggs would be a better fit than Cooper Kupp? Let's make this a vote. Type Kupp or Diggs in the comments. I want to see who you'd choose to line up next to CeeDee Lamb. And hey, if you're enjoying this discussion, make sure you're subscribed. We're just getting started, and there's a lot more to break down. All right, now that both names are on the table, let's really get into it. Who fits better in this Cowboys offense, Stefon Diggs or Cooper Kupp? Let's break it down like true fans do. Cooper Kupp is the ultimate technician. His route running, timing, and ability to find soft spots in zone coverage are elite. He's that guy who can turn a simple slant into a 20-yard gain because of his precision. And in a system like Mike McCarthy's, one that thrives on quick reads and smart positioning, Kupp could plug in almost seamlessly. On the other side, Stefon Diggs brings a different kind of electricity. He's a vertical threat, a nightmare for man coverage, and his explosiveness off the line forces defenses to respect every inch of the field. That kind of dynamic presence could force defenses to stretch out, opening even more space for CeeDee Lamb to dominate underneath. Now, let's talk Dak Prescott. Which one of these guys would give Dak the better support? If you're thinking about reliability on third downs and red zone situations, Kupp might have the edge. But if you're thinking about splash plays, energy, and putting defenses on their heels, Diggs might be the better match, especially when Lamb is already drawing double coverage. It's also a matter of personality and chemistry. Kupp is more reserved, a quiet killer on the field. Diggs, on the other hand, brings swagger and fire. Would that fuel this offense, or potentially clash with the locker room dynamic? And let's not forget about age and longevity. Kupp is 30 and coming off some injuries. Diggs is 31 but still has that burst, if his knee holds up. So now I'm tossing this one to you. Who do you think would have a bigger impact with Dak under center? Drop it in the comments and tell me why. Also, if you like this kind of tactical breakdown, don't forget to hit the notification bell because we're just getting warmed up. All right, let's talk dollars and cents. Because as much as we love dreaming about star players lighting it up in Arlington, everything comes down to the money. Reports suggest that signing Stefon Diggs could come with a price tag of around $13.7 million for a one-year deal. That's a serious chunk of change, especially for a player coming off a knee injury. But for a four-time Pro Bowler with game-changing ability, some might say it's a fair price. Now compare that with Kupp, whose contract situation is a little more complicated. Depending on how the Rams structure a potential trade or release, Kupp's cap hit could vary, but you can expect he'll command a salary in the same ballpark, maybe even more, especially if multiple teams get involved. So the big question is, should the Cowboys spend that kind of money on a veteran wide receiver? The team's salary cap isn't unlimited. There are other holes to fill on this roster, and Dallas still has to think about future extensions for key players. But at the same time, this offense desperately needs a second weapon to take pressure off CeeDee Lamb. Can you really afford not to spend? Historically, the Cowboys have hesitated to go all in on veterans like this. They like to build through the draft and keep a tight grip on the budget. But maybe it's time to shift that mindset. A proven veteran presence could bring immediate impact, leadership, and even elevate the younger guys in the room. Of course, there's risk. A big contract to a veteran who underperforms or deals with nagging injuries, that could blow up in their face and create tension in the locker room if roles and targets aren't clearly defined. So I want to hear from you. Is $13 million too much for a player like Diggs? Or would you rather take that swing on Kupp, even if it means stretching the budget a bit more? Tell me in the comments, if you were the Cowboys GM, who would you sign? Let's see who wins this debate.